Welcome to Clash of Clans Radio, Episode 4. I'm Lano from Pika Legion. I'm the clan leader, and I'm a Town Hall 9.
I'm Trevor from Pika Legion as well. I'm a Town Hall 8, and I'm one of the 2 co-leaders in our clan.
Hello, I'm Rod Fury from Pika Legion. I'm a Town Hall 7 as well as the other co-leader.
You can't survive in the game without them. You need them all the time. They're always being used. This is part 1 of a 3-part series on defenses, where we will give you everything you need to know on the defenses of Clash of Clans.
One of the most important aspects of the game are defenses.
I think they are the most important aspect of the game.
Both of you are correct. First, let's get into the 2 different kinds of defenses, point and splash. Both are extremely important, so we'll be spreading each of the categories over their own episode. Part 2 will be covering splash damage, mortars, and wizard towers, while Part 3 will be covering point defense, cannons, archer towers, X-bows, barb king, and queen, the archer queen, and inferno towers. Let's get a little overview of each category first. We'll start with splash damage. Trevor, can you give us a little overview on splash damage? Keep in mind that part 2 of defenses will go into depth of the splash damage.
Well, splash damage is, let's say you have 4 archers in a group and a mortar is splash damage. It'll affect all of them. And so it'll, if the archers are, let's say, level 3, and then there's a level 6 mortar, it'll destroy all of them instead of just one of them like your typical defenses will.
Rod, anything you'd like to add?
Splash damage is great. It's essential. Both types of defenses are essential. But with splash damage, you're affecting so many units in the army that a very high-level mortar can take out so many troops, especially if they're archers or if you're using goblins, just because they have such a low defense.
Absolutely. Splash damage can make or break a raid. All right, now on to point defense. Rod, can you give us a brief overview on point defense? Keep in mind, Part 3 will go into depth with the point defenses.
Point defense only focuses on one troop at a time. So let's say you have a cannon that's dishing out 40 damage per second. It's only going to focus that on one troop, unlike splash damage, which focuses on several troops.
Great explanation. Trevor, anything you'd like to add?
Same thing. I mean, like the archer tower and the cannon, they are point defenses. They will go after only one troop at a time.
Now we'll do a brief overview of each defense. Let's start with the cannon. The cannon is a pivotal point defense turret. Rod, please explain a little bit on the cannon.
Cannon is the first defense you get. It's great. You can't live without them. Say, we'll look right now at your level 10 cannon, which is very high level. The info on that, you're getting 65 damage per second, but that's firing at a single target. You'll see that it has a coverage of 9 tiles, so you see the range on it is pretty good, but not the best.
Yeah, cannons are a great overall point defense turret. Now let's talk a little bit about the archer tower. Trevor, talk a little bit about the archer tower.
The archer tower, depending on the level of it, it will have a higher defense. As you see here, your archer towers get 65 damage per second, which is the same as your cannon, but this has 10 tiles worth of range, and your cannon only has 9.
As well, the archer tower targets both ground and air targets. Rod, anything we've missed on the archer tower?
I think we've got it. Also, on the cannons, they only cover ground targets. They can't shoot at anything in the air.
Truth, I forgot about that. On to mortars. Guys, please give some basic information on the mortar. Trevor?
The mortar. Your mortars are level 7, and when your mortars fire, its range is from 4 to 11, and it has 11 damage. And the mortar is, as you see in the white circle, if a troop steps in there, it will fire and go after the troop. But there is a red circle close to it, and it will not fire within anything in that red circle.
Rod, anything we've missed on the mortar?
That pretty much covers it. The mortar is one of the longest range defenses, so you want to make sure you have them placed very well.
All right, let's quickly touch on the wizard tower for a little bit. Guys, why don't we give a real brief explanation of the wizard tower?
Wizard tower is splash defense just like the mortar. It does not have near the range, but it has decent damage. actually very high damage for splash defense, but not as much as your single point defense damages.
Absolutely. I love the Wizard Tower. It is a great splash damage defense because it can attack both air and ground targets, and they can make somebody not want to attack your base just by how powerful they look. Trevor, anything you'd like to add on the Wizard Tower?
Your Wizard Towers are solid purple, as you can see, and that is very intimidating. And the color of them can be very intimidating. And they do attack ground and air, like you said, and that is very helpful because if people take out your air defenses, the Wizard Tower and the Archer Tower can both help with air.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Hidden Tesla, one of the hidden gems of the game. Rod, anything you'd like to talk about with the Tesla?
You don't get Tesla until Town Hall 6 or 7, I believe, and it's great. A lot of times, if you don't have them in a square like you do here, if they're just out, the attacker doesn't really know they're there. If they're in the square, the attacker's going to know, okay, there's a Tesla there, and just know that's going to be that much more defense that they have to deal with. But the Teslas are great for really helping save you on a defense.
Yet the thing I love with Hidden Teslas is people cannot tell what level they are till they pop out of the ground. So they have to assume that they are attacking somebody with an extremely high level Tesla. Trevor, anything you'd like to add with the Teslas?
The Teslas, they are hidden. A lot of people like to put them around their town hall, especially when they're farming, like your base. If somebody were to see your town hall, and a lot of people do that, they will put Teslas around it so that people drop like one Archer, or they'll drop their Barb King, and the Tesla will go after the Barb King, and the Barb King could die before it destroys the whole town hall.
Absolutely, and one thing you cannot forget with the Hidden Tesla is that it does double damage to P.E.K.K.A.s, which P.E.K.K.A.s are one of the strongest troops in the game, thus the reason we named our clan P.E.K.K.A. Legion. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Barbarian King. Rod, why don't you talk a little bit about it?
Well, he's the one guy that can really save you on both attacking and defending. On defenses, he will come out and start individually slaying the troops. Take a look at your Barb King here. You've got the level 5, which means he actually has the ability,
which can cause a rage spell around him. It allows him to bring all the barbarians around him into a rage spell for, I believe it is, 10 seconds. The Barb King basically, for those 10 seconds, becomes an absolute beast to try to fight. They're amazing at level 5, but keep in mind, Barbarian Kings will not get their superpower till level 5. So the first 4 upgrades are absolutely miserable to do, but you need to do them, because otherwise you're never going to get the superpower. Trevor, anything on the Barb King you'd like to add?
That superpower is great, and I know that my Barb King and Rod's Barb King is level 1, but yours is level 5, so we don't have the ability. But I have seen you raid before, and some of your raids you do use the Barb King's ability, and it is completely it is awesome just how it goes in with that rage spell, and the rage spell basically follows him. It's not just like one space like with the spell.
Absolutely. The Barbarian King does not become as much of an amazing defense and attacking force till level 5. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about X-Bows. X-Bows are the amazing turrets that you'll see in the middle of my base. They can cover both ground and air targets when they're set to target. Now, in the both ground and air target, they have less of a range, significantly less of a range. But on the ground is what I keep them to target because they have a lot longer range. They're expensive to load. At level 1, if they're completely empty, to fully load them, they cost 50,000 elixir each load. So it's extremely expensive to have, but they'll stop an attacker in their tracks. They are amazing. I absolutely love my X-Bows. Trevor, explain a little bit on the Archer Queen.
The Archer Queen, I don't have one because you don't get one until you have level 9 Town Hall. So you have one, but the Archer Queen has a miniature X-Bow that she carries around, as you can see, and you don't have to refill the X-Bow that she holds, and she basically goes around and shoots the Expo arrows. It shoots out 3 arrows at a time. It doesn't just shoot out 1. And as you can see, yours is level 3. And once you get to level 5, you get the ability, which it's kind of the same thing as the Barb King's ability.
It's almost the same, except the Archer Queen becomes invisible for about 2.5 seconds,
Yes.
which means every single defense has to target something else, which that may not seem like a lot in an attack, but 2.5 seconds can make or break a successful raid. Rod, anything we've missed on the Archer Queen?
Not really. You guys have nailed it.
We've touched on this defense before, but this is a defensive episode, and we cannot forget such an important defense as the Clan Castle. Trevor, take it away with the Clan Castle.
Clan Castle, as you can see, it has the white circle. It's in the middle of your base. If anything goes inside that white circle, anything inside that Clan Castle will go out and attack with defending your base. So let's say you have archers in there and they attack, and your people attack with dragons. Those archers can attack the dragons from the air, even though the dragons are not on the ground.
It cannot be overstated how important the Clan Castle is. Rod, anything you'd like to add with the Clan Castle?
Again, proper placement is key, and requesting the proper troops is key.
Keep in mind also that if you're not having any troops in your Clan Castle, the Clan Castle can do nothing, so it's good to be in a good clan. And if you don't know how to get into a good clan, go see our second episode, which goes into great detail on clans. Last but certainly not least, blazing in last, heating up them attackers, setting the world on fire is the Inferno Tower. Under the fiery gaze of this defender, none will pass. The Inferno Tower has 2 settings, multi-target and single-target, each with their own pros and cons. The Inferno Tower increases its attack power with each passing second. It increases its attack every second it's focused on a target, making it extremely powerful against Tier 3 troops. We'll talk about the tiers of troops and the categorization of troops in a later episode. The Inferno Tower is extremely good against high-level dragons and golems. I don't have them yet, but they are extremely powerful, and they can, at multi-target, they can target 3 troops at the same time, so they are extremely good against taking out Hog Riders. This episode has been amazing. I cannot wait for part 2 and 3 that are coming soon. We'll dive deep into each defense. We'll get into the nitty-gritty and pull out the information that could very well save your Clash of Clans career. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and or email us at clashofclansradioemail@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and happy raiding.